Just today, I was asked if EXP was a disruptor in the industry. The truth is that's already been discussed. EXP is absolutely the disruptor, the cloud-based. We know all about that. But within EXP, the disruptor is absolutely the Wolfpack. And I'm going to unpack the secrets to the success of developing an elite culture that's inclusive and absolutely helps every agent who joins level up. So stay tuned. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, EXP Realty, the Wolfpack, and the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited for this one, as the Wolfpack has absolutely changed my business forever, and I love sharing all of the great resources and things that we have at the Wolfpack. If you're interested in making a switch, or you're just a little bit curious about what we got going on at the Wolfpack, please book a call with me, reagentwolfpack.com. There's a great video on that site about our culture and what we do. So we'll leave it at that, but let's get into the actual culture. And so first, before you head over there, please like, comment, subscribe, share the show on the podcast. We're gonna get right into it. So when talking about this, you have to understand that, within EXP, there is, production teams, just like at normal brokerages. We're talking about the Wolfpack, which is an organization. There is no additional split in order to join the Wolfpack and get all of the resources we have. That is absolutely key number one to, building the culture. There's a trust factor there. Everyone is helping everyone. We're giving away information for absolutely free, because when agents sell homes in your organization, we all win. So, whether that's through company stock or through rev share, that's a totally different story. So, as we kind of unpack this, what is a perfect real estate culture, right? What's that look like? A lot of people are like, oh, the culture at the office is great. I love my broker. I love this. A culture, consists of education and communication and, camaraderie, and, you got to have a little bit of work-life balance in there. It can't all just be work all the time. Some people, that's a great culture for, and, absolutely at the Wolfpack, you can plug in and unplug, when it's, social hour or whatever, but the stuff and the weekly Zooms that we offer are all about business and making that happen. Now, when we come together at, EXP Con at different events, or when, Mike or Connor travel across the country to speak on stages locally, that's a little bit different story, right? We're all there for support and all of that. But, getting down to business is definitely something that the Wolfpack's very good at. So that's kind of the culture that we have, the living, working kind of culture that creates, camaraderie and creates collaboration, right? There's hundreds of different downlines, I would assume by now, in the Wolfpack, but, pitching into other downlines and helping people out and coming on, local calls and pitching different ideas to, other people in different markets is absolutely at the heart of the culture. Once that happens, then relationships can be formed. You have referral relationships. You have, people that you can call, that are at your level when you're struggling, because they're probably having the same struggles. So that support, the collaboration, all kind of goes hand in hand with how the structure is formed. And sure, we have elite leaders that are pushing each other every single day to get better. And we have leadership calls and, different ways to bring on, talented real estate agents and new real estate agents. Not to say that new real estate agents aren't talented, but there's different, courses, and there's different things that we're all plugging into for a common success. And we want to be, known in the industry as the Wolfpack at EXP, and, we're getting there. And so that notoriety and stuff doesn't come with, a ton of hard work behind the scenes by Mike and Connor, who kind of started this all. If you don't know who they are, Connor Steinbrook, check out his YouTube channel. Mike Sherrard, obviously, a huge YouTube name in the real estate industry. So check those guys out. But as we kind of continue to unpack this culture, if that's what you're looking for, that's where it really comes to, is, feeling a part of something. And if everyone can feel a part of something, we can make, a lot more progress than having to constantly reintroduce people and whatever. We constantly plug in. 1,800 agents can plug right into the calls, speak up, share their wins, and that immediately immerses them in the culture, gives a recognizable face, and things, kind of take off from there. Next, obviously, we have to have a commitment to growth, right? In real estate, people come and go, people leave the business, people stay in it, people, bring people in. So we have to be dedicated to growth, and we have to grow not only as real estate agents, but as professionals, as individuals, but also as an organization, and sharing the word of the Wolfpack and what people are doing, and the successes and all the value that we have is important. And so a common group committed to growth can really, be the heart and soul of something that's extremely special and continues to take market share across the country and the world. And so, that commitment to growth, and there's no two better, people to look to than Mike, who's a number one attractor, and Connor, who's, in the top 50 of this amazing company, to really talk about growth and providing value. And they've gone through some of the growing pains that we go through, and we have conversations about it and how we can be of value, and how, at what agent count do you switch, things up and go from, individual contact to group contact to, leadership, kind of regional type contact. And so as we kind of build that, the growth is part of something that is built in, and how we are kind of attacking that. So there's not growing pains, right? This is the expectation. We started this, you're the leaders. Now it's time for you to take the reins of, XYZ for your group, because you're the leaders that people are looking up to. And so that's really cool. And the growth training and the leadership, skills that I've gained from not only Mike and Connor, but everybody at the Wolfpack is absolutely something that, doesn't happen across the board, right? And as you can see, it's not, hey, this is my secret sauce, I'm not going to share it with anyone. That's not something that even happens on the production side in the Wolfpack, because we operate in abundance. Everybody's, doing a great job. The people that are crushing it are absolutely crushing it, but they're also willing to share and help those other agents along the way. Next is just empowering those agents that come along, empowering those next leaders, right? Highlighting those people in, there's been agents who are brand new, 22 years old, leading calls with 250 agents because they caught fire, something worked, and we want to empower them to be up there. And again, they're sharing their story, they're sharing what they're doing. And so we do that in our little mini cultures, Wolfpack Elevation here in Denver. We have quite a core of our group here in Denver. So we have get-togethers, but we always, want to bring that next agent along. We want to help, highlight them and recognize them for their success. But then what comes with that is, oh, hey, can I, shadow you at your open houses? Seems like you're killing it with open houses. Absolutely. Let's go. Same market, same deal, but people are willing to help people because we operate from abundance, and we highlight those, wins and successes, which is what it is. We all win when people are at that level and leveling up and constantly pushing forward. And so that is the definition of culture to me, is bringing the new agents along and highlighting and learning from them. I learn just as much from my new agents as I do from my absolutely seasoned agents. So that's something about the culture that, is absolutely one of my favorite things. And at the end of the day, Connor picked a perfect name for the group, the Wolfpack. We run as a pack, we hunt as a pack, and we just stick together and make things happen. So if your brokerage culture is something that's, been a little bit sketchy for you, or you're looking for just a little bit more, I would love to talk to you and discuss and, physically show you some of the things that we're doing to change the, game of real estate, be a disruptor, not only within EXP, but within the real estate industry at the Wolfpack. So I hope that this gives you an insight of the Wolfpack and why I'm so passionate about it. If you have any questions, reagentwolfpack.com. If you have questions about something else and you're not necessarily interested in the Wolfpack, please book a game plan call with me. Absolutely love helping you win every single day at the game of real estate. Go get a win today. Like, comment, subscribe, share the episode on the podcast, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.